morning, I moved my kitty in. This is Mrs. Cat Jones. She's very comfortable with the conditions, and I love having her in here because I don't feel as lonely. But I'm going to call these segments Camper Coffee, and I'm going to drink my coffee and not really complain, more vent about things that happened over the week. So let me just take a sip. I thought by, doing one of my favorite things, drinking coffee, and going over I don't want to say negative things, I'll say the things I need to overcome or needed to overcome. Because I'm trying to stay very positive, because I'm very happy I'm doing this. The problem is, other people aren't. And it's not the neighbors, they're fine with everything. It's my family and friends. So I wrote haters and rejection for the topic. Just a few things that happened. I had my daughter for the past few days, and she's not getting, I don't think she's understanding the fact that this is our new home. So I don't feel like I'm neglecting her in any way by this is our home, because this is what there's a few reasons. This is what I can afford right now. I'm not shooting weddings anymore, so I went from like a $7,000 a month income to about $2,000 that I make at the school I work at as an art teacher. And then in the summer, I'm not going to have school pay. So I'm on a very, very tight budget. I felt like I wasn't going to, due to health reasons, I can't shoot anymore. Because basically I all of a sudden got epilepsy and have seizures when there's flashing lights or anything. So if I do anything, it'll be like outdoor portraits or something. This all happened to me right when my son and his girlfriend found out that they're having a baby, and the apartment they lived in, the people upstairs weren't always pleasant to listen to. There were holes being punched in walls and other things, and I know my son is very compassionate and gentle, and from what he told me, he found it very disturbing, and he called me a normal mom or a good mom, which felt great because I don't punch holes in walls. So anyway, they needed a place to live. I was not going to let them stay there. Like if I had to have them move in the house with me, I would have found a way to make us all fit, but I feel like they need their privacy and I need my privacy. So here we are in the camper. So one of the things that happened with my daughter, and it's a 2017 Riverside Retro. It's in great shape. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful little home. So my daughter has these wind chimes. I'll post a picture during the video when I edit it. And I got them for her when I was in Huntington Beach. And the camper is going to be decorated in this pretty blue color and red, the whole thing. So I thought, oh, these are this pretty blue color. We'll hang it above the table like a chandelier. Well, she said, I don't want it there. I want it in my room. And I said, it's not going to fit in your top bunk. You'll be hitting your head on it all the time. And she said, no, my room in the house. And I said, well, that's not going to be your room, because now we live in this when you're with mommy, and your space, your room is your bunk. So we're going to hang this, above the table right here. And she's like, fine. Well, then don't hang it there. Move it to here, and a little bit like pretending to have the teenager attitude. Or maybe she's not pretending. Maybe she's having the teenager attitude. I don't know, but she got over it quick. Once she chose the spot where it was going to go, she got over it. And that reminded me of when my son was little and he wouldn't eat vegetables. The pediatrician, the so smart, he was in his 70s or 80s, and he was like on top and on the ball with everything. And he said to me, if he won't eat vegetables, bring him to the cupboard or the grocery store or the pantry and let him choose. Like, give him 3 choices. You know, do you want beans, beets, or corn? And he would choose. He would make the choice. So, because he made the choice on what vegetables we were eating, and I'd make a big deal out of it. Oh, that's good. That's going to go so good with the kitchen. That's a good, or the chicken. That's a good choice. And all of a sudden, he would eat his vegetables. So, I feel like by letting my daughter decide where to hang it, you know, I don't need to be right. I don't need to decide where to hang it. It's not my home. It's our home. So, I let her make that choice, and we're very happy with where it is because it's kind of under a skylight and in front of the camper light. So when the light's on, either the light from the day or the camper light, it kind of shines in the light. And I told her that's a really good place for that. It looks nice. And she's like, you're welcome. And I can't even get mad about the attitude because I know she's being independent and finding herself and testing boundaries. And I know that from being a teacher in elementary and middle school settings and high school settings, that this is what kids do. And you kind of lose your kids. Another teacher / relative told me this. You kind of lose your kids while they go through puberty. And then once they're toward the end of high school or they're graduated, you get them back. So I'm letting her have her space, letting her make up her drama, and really choosing to pick my battles. My daughter got a VR virtual reality thing for Christmas, and she just wanted to go to her dad's. She wanted to leave here and go to her dad's and play her VR. And I'm like, well, Daddy has the VR, Mommy has the RV. So this is what we're doing this week. The other thing, so she was rejecting the camper. The other person that I feel is rejecting the camper is someone that's become a good friend of mine. And he wanted to hang out. And I said, okay, do you want to come over? I'll make dinner or something. And he said, and I quote, don't you want to get out of that trailer and come to a real house for a little while? A real house. That kind of ticked me off a little bit because this is my home. This is my home. And I felt embarrassed isn't the right word. Unsupported. I felt very unsupported. And then I got a little angry. But I wasn't going to let him know that I was angry because I don't like being angry. And I'm not angry in this little house I have now. I just got a little upset that he was insinuating that it wasn't a real house. And I know it's not the Sticks and Bricks house, but this is my home and this is where I live now. So I just said, you know what? No, I think I'm going to stay home. I think I'm going to stay home. Thanks, though. And let me see. I'll just go through the list of things I learned this week. Things I didn't expect or things I learned from watching YouTube videos. So things I learned. Even though you have heat and a furnace, it gets pretty cold. So I am conserving my propane for the heat and stove. And make sure that my refrigerator is going off the electric. Because it can be electric or propane, and I'm choosing electric for it. So I save my propane for my heat. I found a video on how to use kitty litter for when you go to the bathroom. And I thought, oh, well, this is interesting. I am in the yard. I can go in the house and use the bathroom. But let me try this out. Because, you know, you scoop your kitty's poop in the clumping litter and you throw it away. it doesn't work well, because what he said on his video is, you know, you double bag the toilet, you put 2 bags in, you put a scoop of kitty litter in, and you do your thing, and it clumps, and you throw it away, just like you would kitty litter. And it didn't work. I put the scoop of litter in. I'm not even embarrassed about this. I'm just, you know, this is what it is. I tried it. It didn't work. What happened was, my bladder is a lot larger than a kitty bladder. So I put the scoop in, and I peed, and the shopping bag, or I guess I'm using little trash bags, it filled up like a quarter, like this much pee above the litter. So the litter clumped, but I had a lot more liquid in there that wasn't getting absorbed into the clump. So I poured more litter in. Okay, that's a little better. Poured more litter in, poured more litter in. Next thing I know, I'm filling this whole trash bag with litter, because it'll only hold what it can hold, you know? So I switched to using a urinal, and that's working much better for me. And I also, when I do dishes, I'm using biodegradable soap, so I could just dump it outside. But what I'm doing is using a spray bottle to lather and rinse, and a scrubby. And maybe I'll post a link, because I found that on someone else's YouTube channel. So my dirty dishwater, I now put in the urinal. So I put a little bit of vinegar and the water, and then my urine, so it doesn't smell bad. And it waters it down, and the dish soap kind of makes the urinal smell nice, and it has a lid, and it's just working out. And then when I have to number 2, I just go in the house for now, and I'll have to figure out something for that, for their number 2s. But right now I'm using the house. That's all I had to talk about for this morning's Camper Coffee Talk. How's that? That's what I'll call it. Camper Coffee Talk, or Camper Coffee Talk. I don't know. Whatever you think I could call this segment, I'll try to do it once a week. Put a comment in the comments about things you learned your first week, or has anybody rejected your tiny house idea? Tiny camper idea, RV living, van life. How did you deal with, what was their rejection? Subtle or severe, and how did you deal with it? So that's it. Subscribe, share my videos with anyone that you think might find them helpful, and I'll make another video soon. Thanks.